What's up guys, it's your boy Kazaris, back with another fun little box review, and today we have a bunch of decks from the new box that I'm going to be going over. I have a bunch of sample lists, not saying they're the best or correct, I'm just saying this is a good blueprint for a lot of people to start on because I can't know exactly what's going to be perfect and optimal and correct, but I can try my hand at what I think will be a good starting point. I'm going to start with my favorite deck from the new box, Fire Kings. We just got the new Fire King Avatar Arvada. I am so excited. This card was data mined. It's been in the game since like late 2017 or early 2018. It's had its rarity changed several times. Every time it had its rarity changed, I was like, oh, we're going to get it. This is it for sure. Nope. Then we got a Fire King structure deck with Garunix and baby Avatar Garunix, and nothing. Like, no Arvada, and I was so surprised. And here we are 3 years after it was revealed to be in the game, and we finally got it. And this deck is just so much better because of it. We finally have a negate. We can negate things like Simoon, keep it in the hand, and then Blackman can't use it again, and they already banished a card. We can negate a Desperado, keep it in the hand, so that it doesn't come out and destroy us. We can negate a Crystron Tuner so that they can't synchro on our turn. We can negate a Cyber Dragon Core. We can negate Ritual Beast Fusion tag out so that they don't get the materials back. They tag out and then it's just negated and then they don't have a field. It has so many applications in the current meta, it's really nice. And it destroys Garunix or Phoenix in the hand, or it can destroy Barong as well, or it can destroy any fire monster in a pinch, but like ideally you'll be destroying one of these so that you get more advantage off of it. But just having a negate is just so fantastic. And it also floats. If it's destroyed, it summons any Fire Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast in the graveyard except itself, but that monster has its effects negated. But that's fine, because if you summon something like Garunix, it dies during the end phase, and then Garunix floats on the following standby phase. So, like, it just keeps your engine going, and it's incredible. What else? So we have the 3 Arvada, and then we have 3 Fire King Island to search it. Now, when the structure came out a while ago, I was starting to cut this card simply because we didn't have like great targets to search with it. Like, it was good to destroy Garunix with it to search something, but like there was nothing to search really. Like, you could search Yaksha, but Yaksha's just extremely slow and passive. All Yaksha does is when it's destroyed, you destroy another card. That's it. Like, Arvada allows you to negate a monster and destroy a card. Barong, when it's destroyed, lets you search another spell or trap, which lets you get a field spell or a Circle of the Fire Kings, which is essentially just mass change for the deck. You destroy a fire you control and target another fire in your graveyard to summon it. So you attack with a fire monster and then circle the mass change, or Circle of the Fire Kings, Circle of the Mass Change. Destroy the monster that you just attacked with summon something back, and then whatever you destroyed, like Garunix, would then trigger on the following turn to come back again. So this card's really cool. I'm only playing 2 of it because we're playing the 1 Barong to search it. It can brick a bit. Like, I don't want to play. We were playing 7 monsters that aren't fire technically, or 7 cards that aren't fire. We have all these fire monsters, but technically Fire King Island searches a fire monster. So I guess really like 4 cards that aren't fires. So we're playing 3 Battle and Boxer Veil. Now you might kind of be a little confused by this because it's a Battle and Boxer card, but this card is just a generically good hand trap. This is essentially a Sphere Creepo. But in a little bit different and a little bit better, honestly. So when you take battle damage, you special summon Veil from your hand and you gain back life points equal to the damage you took. So it's A, level 4, it's B, a fire monster, and C, it allows you to trigger a skill without actually losing life points. So you take the damage, you're able to trigger a skill like Destiny Draw, and then you summon Veil, gain back those life points, and now you have another monster to block an attack with. Or if they can't get over it because they attacked with their high attack monster first, now you have a level 4 on the field to exceed with into like something like Diamond Direwolf or My Stroke or something like that. So it's just an incredible card for a lot of decks, and I really think this is going to be just like splashed into a ton of decks in the meta, and I have it splashed in a lot of the decks that I'm going to show you today. But overall, like, we're going to be playing Destiny Draw with this deck, and we're playing 1 Coach Soldier Wolfbark because after we triggered like Destiny Draw with Veil, or this is Kiteroid. It's not, so Kiteroid is an anime card. It's not actually in the TCG or the OCG. So this is just a stand-in for Kiteroid. So we trigger our skill with one of those, and then we can de-draw for Coach Soldier Wolfbark. And then Wolfbark can It's not on summon effect. I always thought it was an on summon effect. I don't know why, but it's an ignition effect, meaning we summon it, and then on after that window passes, we can activate this effect to target a Fire Beast Warrior in the grave, which is Arvada or Barong. Summon it back from the graveyard and Xyz for any rank 4. So that's pretty neat as well. Only one Phoenix because back row decks aren't that popular. Garunix does much more damage, and it's a bigger beat stick. It's 2700, and it comes back on the next standby phase, not your next standby phase. So Sacred Phoenix, if you destroy it on your turn, you have to wait an entire turn, an entire 2 turns for it to come back. But if you destroy Garunix on your turn, it comes back on your opponent's turn. If it's destroyed on your opponent's turn, it comes back on your turn. So Garunix just floats more, and if it's destroyed, you summon a Fire King from the deck as well. So you can summon an Arvada from the deck again, or you can summon another Garunix, and then when the baby Garunix dies, you float into another Fire King. So, I mean, the deck just flows really well. So this is a blueprint. You could maybe just cut this Garunix entirely, play another Barong, or maybe cut the Phoenix entirely. But overall, I think that's a pretty good starting point for the deck. Just add a few more rank 4s. I didn't know exactly what to add. But yeah, moving on. So what next? Hazy Flame. So Hazy Flame hasn't seen play since like 2017, early 2018. And they used to play like the trap card Beast Rising or something. To like, because they can't be targeted by card effects, so they were really immune to a lot of card effects, especially back in 2018. Like Floodgate was the only card that would like interrupt them. But with Beast Rising, if you got like 2 Hazy Flame on the field, you would just banish one to target the other, and like double its attack basically, and it's like a 4K beat stick that can't be targeted. So they did kind of get out of hand easily. So the new cards, we got Hazy Pillar, Hazy Flame Hydra, Hazy Flame Griffin, and Hazy Flame Basil Trace. So Pillar allows you to summon your Hazys without tributing, and then it also has a cool effect. Once per turn, you can target one Xyz monster you control, attach a Hazy Flame monster from your hand or your side of the field to that Xyz monster as Xyz material, which seems like a -1, but it's really cool to use with the new Xyz that we got here, which is 2 or more level 6 or level 6 fire monsters. So maximum of 5, so I'll explain how to make it in a second, but once per turn you can attach an Xyz material from Basil Trace to target one monster your opponent controls or is in their graveyard and banish that target, and then he gains effects equal to based on the number of Xyz materials attached to him. If there's 3 or more on him, he'll gain 200 attack for every material on him. So like if he has 3 or more, he'll be 3100. If he has 4 or more, he'll be 3300, and he also can't be targeted by your opponent's card effects. If he has 5 or more, he'll be 3500, can't be targeted, and also can't be destroyed by card effects. So every turn you'll basically be you'll be turboing out Basil Trice, try to get at least 3 materials on it, which is kind of pretty easy with Periton and Hydra here. So with Periton, you can send a fire monster from your hand to the graveyard and tribute Periton to summon 2 fire monsters from your deck, which will typically be Hydra and Sphinx. And now when Sphinx, or when you have the Sphinx on the field, you'll be able to call the top card of your deck, which will most likely be a monster. It has a very small chance to be a spell, but most likely be a monster, and then summon back one like a Periton or the card you discarded from the graveyard. And now you have 3 monsters on the field to overlay for Basil Trice. And now when you overlay for Basil Trice using Hydra gives the Xyz monster that you summon an effect that allows you to target a Hazy Flame monster in the graveyard and attach it to material. So you'll attach the Periton or the card that Periton discarded. So you'll have a Periton, a Sphinx, whatever Periton discarded, and a Hydra on your Basil Trice. And that is a 2-card combo, I guess. Well, I mean, you need Pillar to normal summon the Periton. So Pillar, Periton, and any Hazy Flame monster gives you a 4-material Basil Trice, which is really nice because it's 3300 attack, can't be targeted by opponent's card effects, and is able to detach a material to banish a monster they control. Yeah. So the deck it's kind of like a one-trick pony, but it can be kind of annoying to deal with. Like, they don't have to make Basil Trice, they can just sit on a bunch of big beat sticks that can't be targeted through Sphinx and kind of push your face in. We're still playing the Veil in this because it's a fire monster, it's a hand trap. Like Hazy Flame likes to play a lot of monsters. So instead of playing Kite Ride, we're playing like an actual fire monster that behaves the same way. And we could trigger, like, we can play D-Draw in this deck as well to like draw for our Pillar or draw for our Periton to make sure we get the combo. But yeah, I mean, the deck's pretty straightforward, not much else to discuss, just like other the other 2 level rank 6s in the deck, Force Focus and Swordbreaker, but majority of the time you'll be making Basil Trice. So the deck's pretty straightforward. Griffin is nice, it's like a Cyber Dragon, and it also can't be targeted, so if you don't have Pillar, you can like special summon Griffin and then tribute it for Periton and the Periton effect and do the same thing. So the deck flows well, it's just a matter of if the one thing that it can do will be enough to contend in the meta. I don't think so, but it'll definitely be fun to try out. So there's that little deck. So we have Laval next. Now, you would think with all these fire monsters, more decks would be playing Alistair, but I don't like Alistair in those other 2 decks because they benefit more from having fire monsters than Alistair does, or than having Alistair. And like the Fire King already has a great offensive push play in Garunix. Like I don't think it benefits from Purgatrio. I'd rather have defensive techs. And then Hazy Flame prefers to have as many fire monsters as possible in the deck. Technically, you can probably add Alistair in there if you wanted to, but I'd try to keep it pure Hazy Flame. But I do think Laval benefits from having Alistair simply because if it doesn't open its if it doesn't open Molten Conduction Field, or if it doesn't open Cannoneer with like multiple Lavals and Rekindling, then there's not many plays that it can do really. So Alistair gives it a good starting play and a good way to push for damage outside of just relying on drawing Rekindling and Molten Conduction Field. So I think Alistair is definitely very good to have. So Rekindling is another new card we're getting in the box. It's an ultra rare. This is basically Soul Charge. So Soul Charge says pay 1,000 life points for every monster that you want to summon back from your graveyard and summon back that many monsters. So you can pay 5,000 life points, summon back 5 monsters. It's stupid. Rekindling says special summon from your graveyard as many fire monsters as possible with exactly 200 defense, but banish them during the end phase of this turn. So all of these fire monsters have 200 defense. So you have a level 4, 3 level 1 tuners, a level 3 tuner, and a level 2 tuner, which gives us a ton of synchro plays to make. We'll be summoning Cannoneer, Handmaiden, Lakeside Lady, or Cannoneer, Handmaiden, Sprite, or Cannoneer, Lakeside Lady, Sprite. So we'll be summoning back Cannoneer with 2 tuners, or honestly we can summon back 2 Cannoneer if we want, but typically we'll be going Molten Conduction Field, send Cannoneer and Handmaiden, Handmaiden send Handmaiden, Handmaiden send Handmaiden, Handmaiden send one of these other 2 tuners, and then you'll have the Cannoneer with 3 Handmaiden and any other Laval tuner in your graveyard. You can use Lakeside Lady to banish it and another Laval in the graveyard when you have 3 different names to target a set card on the field, target a set card your opponent controls specifically and destroy it. So you can like banish it in a Handmaiden if you want to destroy a set card, and then you can Rekindling back Cannoneer and 2 Handmaiden maybe. You can make Laval Dragon, Stardust Warrior, Stardust Charge Warrior, something like that. Pretty cool stuff. Econ, because we can go like Alistair, search Invocation, then Econ take, and then fuse with Invocation and a fire monster in our hand for like Purg and the monster we took for like a quick OTK that way. Or we can just like tribute one of the like a useless Laval monster. But yeah, the deck's pretty straightforward. Like ideally, your ideal play is Molten Conduction Field with Rekindling, but you're not always going to see that, so that's why you play the Alistair as well, with some other generic back row. Like these Floodgate and these Econ can be whatever kind of, like this is the main deck core I think for the Alistair version, and then the 4 tech slots for whatever you want. And then just some good generic synchros, like you can go into Crystron Quarion Gandrax with a level 4, a level 3 tuner, and a level 2 tuner, so that equals level 9 with 2 tuners. So that's a way to do it. You can go into Squire Saga with Cannoneer and Lakeside Lady, and then Squire Saga can banish itself to clear the field for more materials. You can also technically play Black Rose if you so wish. But Squire Saga is also there to be fused to synchro with again if you want. Zeta's cool because with Stardust Charge Warrior you can go Cannoneer, summon Cannoneer, Handmaiden, and Sprite. Synchro with Sprite and Cannoneer for Stardust Charge, draw a card, and then synchro with Stardust Charge and Handmaiden into Zeta, and then that gives you a good turn 1 defensive play as well as a draw on top of it to try and see another Rekindling or something like that. And then the 1 Laval synchro, Laval Dragon. It's a level 5, so it's easy to make with Cannoneer and Handmaiden, and then you can shuffle 2 Laval monsters from your graveyard into the main deck to target a card your opponent controls and bounce it. So it's kind of like a Bryanak in that sense. You could also just play a level 6-star Bryanak, but Laval Dragon is pretty cool. You don't have to discard essentially to use its effect to bounce a card to get removal that way. Laval Landslord is another Laval with 200 defense that you can maybe try playing. It's a level 6, so that can give you some cool new levels to mess around with the synchro with. But I mean, I think this is a good starting point for sure. The deck's pretty straightforward. Just you resolve Molten Conduction Field and Rekindling and synchro like crazy, or just Alistair push for game. Pretty straightforward. So last deck that I want to go over is Battle and Boxer. I don't think this deck is very good. We did not get Lead Yoke, which is the broken, not broken, but the really good Xyz they have. So Lead Yoke, there it is. So Battle and Boxer Lead Yoke, we did not get this. It's 2 level 4 Battle and Boxer monsters. If a Battle and Boxer monster you control would be destroyed by Battle or card effect, you can detach an Xyz material from this card instead of destroying one of those monsters. And then when an Xyz material is detached from this card, it gains 800 attack. So it gives Neos Fusion protection. It doesn't activate, it just detaches instead, and then it activates to gain 800 attack. So it can go up to 3800 and protect your monster twice, including itself. So this card is really good. We did get Battle and Boxer Nova Kaiser though. This isn't too bad. It floats, so it gives you a lot of recurring Xyz plays. It just requires 2 level 4 monsters. Once per turn, you can detach a Battle and Boxer monster from your hand, or you can attach a Battle and Boxer monster from your hand or graveyard to this card as an Xyz material. And it gains 100 attack for each Xyz material attached to it. And then when it's destroyed by Battle or card effect instead of the graveyard while it has material, you can target level 4 or lower Battle and Boxers in your graveyard up to the number of Xyz material it had when it was destroyed, and special summon those. So you'll summon it, it'll gain 100 attack for every material, so it'll be 2500 attack. You'll keep those materials on it and just try to push for damage, and then when it's destroyed, you just summon back those 2 materials and make another one. So we're playing 3, maybe you could get away with 2, but I just feel like you just keep making this every turn, keep floating, keep making it. So they have a counter trap, Jolt counter, so I figured I'd try Parshath with this build. It might not work out. You could just you don't even have to play Jolt counter. It's not too great. It only negates things during the battle phase while you have a Battle and Boxer monster. So you can negate Desperado technically, which is pretty cool. But overall, it's just a very restrictive counter trap. If you cut the Parshath engine, I'd cut this entirely and just play like 8 different traps. But I mean, overall, these are the best Battle and Boxers. So we have Headgeared, which on summon sends a Battle and Boxer. We have Veil, which I've gone over before. It's a hand trap. We have Switch Hitter, which is basically Debris Dragon. On summon, it summons back a Battle and Boxer from the graveyard. And then we have Counter Punch, which is a level 3, so you can't Xyz with it, but it's kind of like a hand trap as well. So during the damage step of either player's turn, when a Battle and Boxer monster is attacked or being attacked, is attacking or being attacked, you can banish it from the hand or grave, and then that monster gains 1000 attack. So it's a cool little hand trap to play. You don't really have to play this either. I guess technically you could just play like a 3rd Battling Boxing Spirits, which is just a monster reborn after you mill the top card of your deck. So that's a cool way to get a bunch of level 4s as well. We also got Glassjaw, which is okay. When it's targeted for an attack, you destroy it. When it's sent to the graveyard by card effect, including its own, you can target a Battle and Boxer in the graveyard and add it to your hand. It's a 2k beater, so maybe this could be worth playing instead of that Counter Punch. But overall, the deck is just not too great. It's recursive. It has a Foolish Burial and a Reborn, so maybe it could do something. But like I definitely don't see it being tiered. But definitely cog worthy for sure. It's got some gimmicks to it and some fun stuff to do. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the box review, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Those are the 4 main archetypes that are coming out and a bunch of different ways to play them. The box is coming out tonight, so I'll have probably a Fire King video out tomorrow because that's the deck I'm most excited for and the one I want to try first. So stay tuned for that. I will catch you in the next one. Peace.